Hi, I'm Paul at Professor Killamoth. I'm sorry to hear about your moth problem, but really glad you chose our moth traps to get started eradicating these nasty pests. In order for you to get the most out of your moth traps, I wanted to give you some important information before you set them up. First, I wanted to make sure you bought the right moth traps. I'm not sure if you know, but pantry moths and clothes moths are different moth species, and there are distinctly different moth traps with unique pheromones for the different types of moths. So, if your problem is pantry or food moths, please make sure that you bought our pantry moth traps. If your problem is clothes moths, please make sure you bought our clothes moth traps. It says which type of moths the traps are for right on the front of the box. The moth traps are sealed in foil packets, and as long as they remain sealed in the foil packets, they'll last for years. After they're opened, they remain effective for up to 3 months, or when they get fairly full of moths. Please note that the date on the front of the foil packet is the manufacturing date, not the expiration date. So as long as they're sealed in the foil packets, the traps will be good for years after the date on the foil packet. Next, I wanted to make sure that you knew to remove the protective paper from the glue that covers the trap. We've had customers not realize they need to do this and wonder why moths were flying around the trap but not getting stuck in it. So please make sure you remove the protective paper before assembling the traps. The way the traps work is that the pheromone attracts and traps only male moths to end the mating cycle and stop new moths from being born. There are typically a lot more females than males in a population of moths, and female moths won't be attracted to the pheromone and won't fly into the trap. So you could see female moths flying around even after you place the traps and start catching male moths. When you first open our traps, the air can potentially become saturated with the pheromone as the brand new fresh pheromone is released. With that, the male moths won't be attracted specifically to the trap until the initial saturation of the air with the pheromone dissipates, which can take hours to days depending on the environment where you place the trap. The mating cycle will still be interrupted due to the air being saturated with the pheromone, such that the male moths won't tend to find the female moths. But you won't see the physical result of male moths being caught in the traps right away. Again, after the initial saturation of the pheromone in the air dissipates, the male moth should start seeking out and getting stuck in the trap. One very important thing to note is that more isn't always better when it comes to moth traps. If you place too many traps in a small area, it could confuse the male moths and lead to poorer performance of the traps instead of the traps trapping more moths. One trap for each pantry, or one trap for every 70 square feet of kitchen area is enough. We hope you found this video helpful, and if the moth traps don't work for you, if you have any issues at all, we're here to help. Just contact us at care@killamoth.com. Thanks for watching.